Hi there, Chris here. Okay, this is a key for AJ's Ruko, part 5. So what I've done where I left you, I think I had cut the first key cut, or pin cut on the key, and I went ahead and cut all the rest. So that is your original key bitting, AJ. And how we did that was we did it on the Blitz machine, and we used, because this keyway on this Ruko, this particular Ruko, is a Yale. We used a Yale blank, and we cut all the key, cut for those original key pins, and it works nicely. And a little trick I do when I'm working on this, I'm cutting these pins, and I'll cut 2 or 3 of them, make sure that they're the right height, and then put the lock together and try it to make sure everything's working all right. And because these are a pain to keep bending and putting on and bending and putting on, I just use a pipe cleaner, and I wrap it around in there tight, and I twist it a couple of times, and that keeps the plug from falling out when I'm testing it or when I'm test picking it. So that way you don't overbend this thing, take a lot of time, or eventually they break if you bend them, put them on, take them off, put them on, take them off too many times. So that's a little trick. So this is the bitting. The first thing we did was make this Yale key, and I just took this from a Yale lock that I had, and then pinned it up with my pinning kit. And so AJ will get this and all the different key pins, and they're separated because some of them have wafers. Had to do that because I didn't have the correct height, all the correct height key pins in my pinning kit, which is very, very slim on a lot of these sizes. So that's why we have wafers. I did pick it by raking it, completely raking it once and raking it to a false set and finishing off picking it. But it's still very challenging even with wafers. So there's that. And then with the original key pins, this is what we've cut. And what we used was the Blitz machine, and this is a Yale large pin key card, so it fits this blank. The spaces were all correct, but the depths for this Ruko are totally off. So the first cut was, I think, 0 1/4 instead of, say, a 1 or a 0, and on through the other one. So I can put this in the plug and see how far the pin needs to be to go down, and that tells me how deep the cut needs to be. And so I sort of cut it and sneak up on it and get it so all the cuts are right. So that works quite nicely. We'll take it out, and I'll show you what's in there once again. So we put in our key, we turn it a little bit, we put in our beat up shim, and you want to shim because you got this big gap there that is gonna spit pins down here, lock it up, and you'd have a hell of a time getting it apart because there's really no way to get it apart. If you could turn it down to get through here, I think that's open. No, it doesn't look like it's open. It looks like there's something blocking that. So, but anyway, always use a shim. We come through, and so we can see that all of the key pins are at the correct height, and that's how that works. Let's see, what else did I want to put in there? This is very fun, fun series to do. What I'm going to do is finish this up by putting this guy back in and put the original clip back on it. So I think in part 3 of the series, Pocket Woman said she had one of these and it had the sleeve. This one does not have the sleeve. That would be the next generation, because these were fairly easy to rake. So what they did, let's see, and if you recall back, you saw that these had what I call sort of the kind of a spoolie ones, but they're soft. They're kind of rounded, those little spools, for drivers. And also the first 2 ones are very tapered. So the next generation, they used a sleeve, and they used these, what we call gin bottles. And if you could see here, the gin bottle has a very sharp edge. And that sleeve, there's just a little space in that sleeve that goes over the core, or the plug. And come here. There it is. So you have that little sleeve on there, and when you're picking, this gets caught. It's hard to hold there. This gin bottle gets caught very nicely. And it's also, because it's spool-like, you get counter rotation, and you get a core, when it's stuck on that, the core is moving to the right. And for Pocket Woman, to get out of that, you need to counter rotate and push it so that that little lip clears the sleeve. And it's very effective. They're difficult for me because I pick in hand, and so say you're stuck on one. I don't really have a way to counter rotate if I'm picking in hand. If you're counter rotating, or if you're picking in a vise, you can hold the tension wrench this way and manually counter rotate it to do it. I can't pick in a vise to save my life. So what I do is I'll pick in there up, and then I'll turn my pick and manually counter rotate that with the back edge of my pick. And that's how I get them set. So, and I'm starting to pick this. I shouldn't, because it does take a while to pick. Yeah, I'm getting hung up on those old style spools, which I really like those old style spools. You don't see them very often. Anyway, so I think that covers all of it. So AJ will get this back with the original key pins in it and this key cut that works. Whoa. Okay, this is what we don't want to do. We don't want to be screwing around with this without a clip on the back, because if I pull it out, bad things are gonna happen. So we'll put this on here real quick, just while I'm talking, or if I'm going to leave it for a while. I certainly want something on there. What was I saying? Oh, anyway, so yeah, these are the original key pins, and it works very nicely. And like I said, he'll get this whole little packet with this different bitting, so he could try different bittings. Anyway, thanks for watching. This was a fun little series to do. I hope people enjoyed it, and I know not everybody's into cutting keys and all that. Some people just want to see you pick a lock and get it and see what's in it and then go watch something else. But on the other hand, some people do like to see, they might have a lock and go, well, how would I make a key for that? And essentially, this is the same way you would make a key for anything, whether you had a nice machine or not. You got it, you put the blank in there, you see how far down the cut needs to be, and you can come in with your file and file very carefully. File a little bit, check it, see if the pin's still too high, file a little bit more, check it, be the same thing. It's just faster if you have a machine. The machine is, automatic file. But you can also go too far too quickly with the machine. So if you don't have the correct depths of spacing, that has to get worked out. Anyway, thanks for watching. AJ, thanks for sending me this. And I will get it back to you so that you can pick it and have a key and you can get it. And it'll be all ready to go. So thanks to Rune International, because I learned a hell of a lot of this stuff from his Ruko school about the different variations, the different generations of these, the different pins that they used as they upgraded these and made the next generations and all of that. So big heads up to Rune. Check him out. Certainly check out his Ruko school. Anything and everything about Rukos, the histories, all the different not variations, but like this one, and then the next generation, all the different generations. The next generation is they put in the sleeve, and then after that they moved on. Also, how these all fit into hardware and retrofitting in newer locks into older hardware. He's got it all. So thank you for that. Thank you, AJ, again for sending me this. This was fun. And leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this type of series. Maybe I could do some more. Or maybe we've had enough. Maybe we've had enough of it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thank you to all my new subscribers, old subscribers. Do hit the like. Do make a comment. And we will see you next time.